Hey guys, Buffer Game Bat today bringing a video. Today for our DMZ Firefight series, we are going through the best DMZ game of my life. Probably one for the records, honestly. As far as duo games go, this may be potentially an all-time record for duo DMZ games. So someone's going to have to fact check me here, but right now I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is at least one of the very best duo games in DMZ history. Someone can check that after the game. We have a lot of kills here, and again, it's as a duo. So going to be running through this. I'll show you the weapons I'm going to use really quickly, and then I'm going to walk through the entire game, at least the action parts with the firefights, but there is quite a lot of firefights, or should I say one enormous continuous firefight that we may or may not kill the entire server as a duo, just about. So let's go ahead, back out here. I'll show you the weapons, I guess, that I'm using here. The main weapon that I use. So first off, I'm running Operator. I'm going to run Shadow Company for this just because with the weapon I'm using, it's fitting. I like Shadow Company because it doesn't necessarily need to always be United States. Usually they're like the flagless soldiers, even though the majority of them have U.S. Flags on them. But that's really the whole purpose of Shadow Company, is they can be anywhere from around any other nation. So here, what we're going to be doing here is using an AK-74M, Zeniko AK-74M. We can call it an Alpha AK if you want. So, first off, what we want to do here is for the optic. So the optic, what I'm going to be running here is the 4x flip, the EOTech with the 4x flip. So go ahead and select that here, and this is going to give me, you can see 4.8 magnification with the dual toggle, very small glint, aim down sight speed, aim walking movement speed is the cons there. So I'll go ahead and select that, tune the eye position all the way out, skip out on the buttstock and the rear gap for the magazine here. Rate of fire on this is pretty good. It's around 700 rounds per minute here in the game, I believe it is. So I'm going to run this 60 round quad stack casket magazine. So it's going to double our capacity from 30 to the 60. It's going to slow us down. Ergos are going to be a little bit slower, obviously, but it's not really something you notice with this build. And this build potentially, I mean, really should be slower, you would think, but it's not. It actually handles very, very well, which you'll see in the gameplay. So 60 round quad stack magazine of the 5.45 by 39mm. Skip out on the ammo. For the underbarrel attachment here, I'm going to be running the phase 3 grip. So it's this last angle foregrip here. Going to run the phase 3 grip. Going to give us aiming idle stability, hipfire accuracy, and the recoil stabilization, with the cons being walking speed and aim down sight speed. So we'll go ahead and select that, tune that all the way out to aiming idle stability, right? That'll reduce our sway, especially when firing, help with our recoil, and then we'll tune our recoil stabilization all the way up as well. Next up, for the muzzle device, instead of a suppressor, I haven't really been running suppressors much at all anymore. Only in some instances. I'm going to run what I believe is the best in-slot device for a lot of these rifle caliber rounds, the 5.45s and the 5.56s. That's going to be the Havoc 90. This is going to prioritize our horizontal recoil over our vertical, but you're going to get both here with this. Cons are the aim down sight speed and the aiming stability, but we've already tuned for aiming stability, so that's going to be a non-factor. Aim down sight speed, really, it's not something you notice, and this is not a run and gun right up and close and personal to someone like an SMG, but it still handles very well. So the Havoc 90, that's your best in-slot device there. Recoil stabilization and gun kick is how we're going to tune that for max control. And then for the barrel option here, we are going to run the Zeniko barrel. That's going to be the KG30 406mm. Going to give us bullet velocity, recoil control, damage range, and hipfire accuracy as a pro. Cons are aim down sight speed, movement speed, and hip recoil control. So we'll select that. We'll tune this all the way up to recoil steadiness and max damage at range. So again, we're reducing the aim down sight speed. And that's our final design for the camo on this. I am running the Desert Hybrid, one of my favorite ones from Modern Warfare 2019 on the AK as well. Go ahead and back out, and we'll just preview this thing really quick. So this is our Alpha AK, or the Alpha AK-74M. Just a beautiful, beautiful Zeniko AK with that 60-round casket mag. Really quickly, just so you guys can see the recoil control before we get into the gameplay. So again, with the flip sight here, it's pretty much non-existent. You can see if I just especially bring this down, which I'll typically engage like this, just very, very easy to control. Quick reload there with that Iraqi style reload. And then for long ranges again. So Very easy to control. You guys will see it in the gameplay. Here's the Alpha AK-74M. Beautiful, beautiful AK. So let's go ahead now. We'll jump into the gameplay here. Again, the best DMZ gameplay of my career, and as a duo, I think this is probably one of a record-setting DMZ games. So let's go ahead now. The final design for the Zeniko AK-74M. Let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. Okay, so jumping into the gameplay here. First off, we're starting off with an engagement here, just where I get it. I'm gonna end up downing this guy, end up not killing him. This is one of the few that got away here. But you can see here we're on top of mall, and we heard this guy. We were trying to do the mall rat mission here. Came over, I downed this dude. Could have gotten a kill there, but I only had one extra round there, so I had to reload. By the time I reloaded, he crawled off the roof, and he ended up getting away. So unfortunate, but almost had him. So just keep in mind, if I had, that's one team. I think he was solo, so he ended up getting away. We saw him run away there at one point. So let me go ahead and we'll fast forward here, further out. And right now we're just looting around. And here we go. I hear this guy over at hear him over at stadium here. So what we're gonna do is we hear this. I'm spotting him with the spotter scope, and I can see where he is. I'm trying to wait for him to peek here, which he ends up not doing. So he's gonna go back in the stadium there. He's fighting the AI. I'm not sure if he's trying to extract or not. And there you can see he may have not been solo, because there's a truck over there that was clearly players, and then this one here is AI. So more AI coming in, and there's that truck over at the firehouse, which we just saw roll out of the way. So no idea where that team was going, if it's part of this guy's team or not, but we're going to push forward. Justin and I both moving up here. I have my AK-74M, the Zeniko AK-74M, just looking beautiful. So this weapon, as we talked about, is just amazing. So here, what I'm going to do, this is probably the quietest part of the entire game we've had, leading up to non-stop action here, is I spot him there, and he's going to go back inside the stadium, come back in and out. Again, I don't know what he's doing, because he hasn't called the extract yet. And there he is. So down him with the AK, clean him up with the AK. There we go. That's one kill right there. So here we go. I'm going to just fast forward it a little bit too far. So here we go. We killed him.
It's gone, he said.
And he's going to plead for help. So he's obviously not solo at this point. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to plead for help. So here I can hear a car, and I'm just going to kind of let you guys hear some of these engagements.
Yeah, this is his buddies. Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that translated into the playback, but I could hear him sprinting, which is why I started to pre-fire, because I knew he was running at me. So I just pied that corner and pre-fired at him to drop him. Now, he definitely has at least one more player that I think at this point over there who's grenading me. So I'm going to just reposition, because his buddy would have obviously called me out. So if I reposition a little bit, he won't be expecting me in a specific spot. Right there, since I was mounting, he peeked out. He probably saw me, but I'm not sure. So again, I'm calling him out to Justin. My mindset here is to just keep moving around. Now, I just heard a snipe, and that ended up being Justin. Here you go. This guy's peeking out. Get some hits on him here. Again, keep moving. Constant reposition if I can. That way, they don't know where I am. They're going to think I was in the last position. Here he goes, shooting at me. You can see with the dumpster there, I put myself behind hard cover. Now, that's not the guy that had just peeked me a second prior. So, I'm going to call to Justin that there's another guy there. Justin gets a kill over here, so we're at 3 kills right now at this point. So, we killed the first dude. Or actually, that's 4 kills total right now. 3 for me. So, right now, I'm thinking, okay, that first guy that was peeking me went over for Justin somehow, and Justin killed him, but that's not what happened. So bomb drone goes up. You can see I peek in there, and I see that guy's barrel of the gun. I end up killing him. So I think that's a team wipe at this point, but who knows, because we just run into non-stop players from that first engagement forward. Now here, tracer fire coming from up there, who's shooting at AI, and then Justin. Is that the AI down Justin there, not the player? This guy's gonna move. I came up on him, dropped him. I'm gonna move up, clean him up. No problem. Now, I think that dude was maybe the last guy on that team. Or a different team. I really don't know the team breakdown at this point, and we're never really going to know it. There's probably multiple teams here, but there's definitely a few large teams that we're engaging at this point. So I believe I'll start calling out my kills here, and it's going to be +1.
Shooting at the other team. Love it.
Justin has 1. I think I have 5. Here comes an LTV. So that guy's body disappeared, but the other guy's still pleading for help. So he's got to be part of someone's team. This may be his team. LTV rolls up. Throw that grenade at him. And then, just with the AK, I'm able to down the guy who's peeking out the window. Kill him. That's 6 for me. That's 7 total, I believe, at this point. Or maybe 8 with just what Justin had. Come on, come on, come on! Fuck! 2 players there, and I don't know. I don't know how they. I'm gonna turn the volume down just a little bit because I get a little bit loud here. But I don't know how those guys did not kill me. That was really, really bad. What I should have done is switch to my AK, and I could have dropped both of them right there, but I didn't. I tried to hit the snipe. I thought it was AI at first, which is the problem. So I thought it was AI. As soon as I zoomed in to take that snipe and realized it wasn't AI, and then I had to get out of there. So here we go. This LTV, Justin threw down a mine there. So keep that in mind. The LTV must have seen him throw down the mine, which is why he didn't run Justin over. So at this point, what we wanted to do is get the high ground, right? So that guy pushes. The whole mentality here is to pivot into this building is to get to high ground. So we need to reposition and get to a fortified position where we can get high ground. High ground always wins gunfights 99% of the time. So that's what we did here is we repositioned, fortified position where we're on cover, and we have the high ground. That's really the key to this entire engagement that we're going to be in here. This guy has to push across the road. It's an open area. I have high ground, hard cover. I can engage him just like that. That's 7 that I have. I think it's 8 or 9 as a team. That guy hits Justin's mind. I clean him up again. Oh my God. You can see I'm freaking out there. I have 8 kills. That guy had to run again across an open field, and he hit Justin's mind, and I was easily able to kill him. I break this dude in the LTV. You can see on the map, he gets out, and there's another LTV there. So this has to be, I think, a 6 or a 7-man team at this point. It's a massive team. So right now, you may have heard, I just called out to Justin. I said, hey, we need to reposition. So that's what we're going to do. Obviously, they know where we are now. If they're getting players up, they're going to start repositioning. They can encircle us. So what we want to do is reposition. We're going to move here to the A building. And then I'm going to just fast forward a little bit here. So we move to A building. I call it A building just because of ground war. So let me just rewind slightly. So again, the whole purpose, again, reposition. You don't want them to know. You always want them to think you're in the last spot that they saw you last, and you want to move. That way, they're going to be looking at you in a spot. You reposition. You're going to look in that spot where they think you were last, and you're going to be able to have the advantage for that firefight. So here we go. I'm getting engaged again by a player somewhere over there at the mall. That could be a completely different team. I really don't know. They know where we are. I can see some glass over there. So at this point, they've gotten a couple players up. You can see another team extracted. Now, there's a prime example. That guy was over on the A roof where we were last, where they saw us last, and I engaged him because we had switched positions. So
they're below us. Just hold.
This guy comes up the ladder. Justin with the mines gets it down. I clean him up. They have the UAV tower up now. There's an LTV on the road. I know the UAV tower just goes up. I go ahead and peek it. Just destroy that dude. That's 10 or 11 for me at this point. I believe it's 10. And Justin, I think, has 1, but he's going to catch up. He has 1 or 2, and he's going to start catching up here in a minute. There's another sniper over there, which is why I was peeking that. And then I know there's at least 1 player over on A, which I had down. So if he doesn't have a self, someone else is going to need to push up to that guy. Now, peeking there, I never saw that guy. I don't know where he was. Now you can see here they're flashing us.
I have one.
Don't know if they're doing that from in the staircase or if they're throwing them over from the opposite roof, which may have been what they're doing. So here I'm going to peek over. See him up there again. Again, this guy's got to be bad because he's looking the wrong spot. Unfortunately, I should have mounted my weapon there, and I could have downed him again, but get him right there. So That Ranger skin, Ranger 4 skin, I downed him again.
I'm out of
At this point, you can hear a lot of gunfire. I'm out of plates.
No.
This guy didn't have any. So Justin's going to drop me some. And wisely tell me not to get down. Come get my plates. Because I sometimes in firefights I have a bad habit of push, or like constant engagement. So note what we're doing here is I down that guy. There goes his buddy to res him. Unfortunately, these Semtexes, I should have had frags for this.
Cover that.
I'm surprised that didn't get a hit marker, honestly. But notice how Justin's covering the ladder and the stairs while I'm covering this team, or the guys at least on this A roof. I also hear them in the stairs below us. So this is where we need to communicate.
Ladder.
Yep.
Now, Justin got down, and he dropped to his death and died. I can hear stairs again. Now, that was clutch because I laid down there the last second, and you saw Justin and I both just headshotted him. And we didn't even need to say that. We just said, hey, ladder. Here, a bad peek. I shouldn't have really been peeking that unless I was going to just instantly open fire. And now they're throwing grenades over from A. They're throwing grenades through the door off that, trying to bank them off the concrete wall there around the corner at us. And I know that there's at least 2 sets of footsteps in the staircase. So they just put up a hostile advanced UAV.
Right here.
See his gun barrel? Now, I was laying behind. Just rewind that.
One more.
Really,
Fuck. I got it.
really, I don't really need to rewind it. So you'll saw there was just unfortunately a visible wall got me there. So I downed the one dude. Justin pushed through,
Cover, I'll play.
killed the guy that downed me, and got the clean up there for a kill for him. Unfortunately, the kill feed isn't showing some of those, so I had to go through and like count based on the end game report and just go through what I know we had. So he got 2 there.
Multiple. Careful. Don't get killed.
And I hear more down there, but he's going to go down because you can see I'm out of AR. We're running low on ammo, running low on plates. He's looting them, getting what he can out of them. Here I'm going to peek it again.
Oh, he's up. He's up.
You hear that fire? That dude, pretty smart, jumping up like that. I should have cleaned him up right away. I hear stairs again. So
Cover stairs.
just let you guys listen. Another 2 sets of footsteps on the stairs.
Here,
Now I peeked it. I downed one.
I'm selfing. There's one more.
I'm
down.
selfing. Justin coming in clutch here again. You notice how we're doing this. I go down and Justin pushes immediately and gets those 2 kills. So I down a separate guy. Justin killed him and down the other guy. Didn't show it on the kill feed. Pick up the Vitiaz because I'm out of ammo. Now out of the corner of my eye, I see that guy glassing over on the mid roof. Vitiaz. Done. So that ends up being the entire team. We killed, I don't know how big that team was. I don't know if it was 1 team. I don't know if it was 2 teams. I think what ended up happening is we just ran into 3 teams or more right there. But this one team that just chased us over was at least, I think, a 6-man. I think the first team that we engaged over at over there, I think it was probably a 4 to 5 man. It could have been 2 6-men. I really have no idea. Keep in mind, another team extracted over there. So there was other players that came through and picked some people up, or maybe just extracted a different team. So there's a team that escaped. There's that solo that I had downed earlier, and then however many players we just killed. Now here is another player. That's another player in that car. So that's another one. So there's 3 teams there that we know of that we didn't kill. At least we'll say they were solos. We didn't even engage that guy because he was just going towards the port extract. So fast forward here. Luckily we have the exfil right over here. We came over. We called it. We're gonna get on the bird and start getting out.
Retire from DMZ after
We're just pretty hyped because this was just non-stop firefights. We were, as soon as we came into that first engagement here in stadium where we pushed that one guy, it was non-stop firefights the whole time. So here we go with the stats here. You guys can see Justin's gonna end up with 7, and so he's gonna tell me here as we're going through. He's gonna say I had 7. And it was funny because we were doing the mall rat there, and we obviously got mall rat done. Kill 3 enemies at operators at shopping center. So I got 11. Justin had 7. So that's a beautiful 18 kill game right there, which is just wild. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Till next time, this is Buffner Gaming, the best DMZ team ever. Buffner Gaming, out.